All right, so one of the biggest things that was actually holding me back for a very long time to even start anything. I always had these big goals, these big dreams, and speaking to people every day, it's pretty much the same case. You got big goals, you got big dreams, but you think you just don't have enough time. You're obviously working a full-time job, and the reason you're wanting to change that situation that you're in is because you don't have enough time. You want more time. So obviously, putting more hours and stuff into something new, you think you don't have the time, and you keep telling yourself that to the point where you don't even start anything. And these goals, these dreams that you have, they just slip away. And that's sort of what happens to 99% of people. They tell themselves these excuses and overcomplicate the whole process so much that they don't even start. So basically, I guess with me, my experience and what I try and tell people is, first off, everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. It's really how you use them. Now, I know a lot of people work 8, 10, 12-hour days, but, I guess my question to that is like, what is happening in the other 12 hours? Obviously, you got to sleep, but, if a lot of you guys like looked at your screen time right now, I can guarantee you it'd be over an hour a day on social media and doing unproductive stuff that you don't really need to do, that can be easily eliminated and put into something like this. For me, in my experience, I was working 10-hour days as a carpenter, 50, 60 hours a week. I'd still go to the gym, I prioritize my health. I'd have to come home, cook dinner, clean the dishes, that's another hour. So I was only left with 1, 2, maybe 3 hours sometimes a day to actually work towards this while I was still working flat stick. I was still working for 4.5 months while trying to learn new skills and actually be able to make money online. So when at the end of the day, you've got to look at it like when people say I don't have enough time. To me, it's an excuse because I didn't have enough time for a long time until I made the time, until I looked at how I actually spend my time. So, start to look at your schedule, how you could, even if it's just staying up an extra half an hour later, just making little sacrifices here and there for the big end goal. So that all you have is time. Because now all I have is time. Time is the only thing that I have. So if you keep saying that you don't have the time, you're never going to have the time. And you're just going to keep, being in that cycle where it's like, I've got these goals. One day I'm going to get there. One day I'm going to get there. But right now I don't have the time. But right now, the only thing that that makes you guys money is trading your time. So, if you're not willing to make those sacrifices, you're never going to actually have time because all you're doing is trading that time just to get by week by week. Now, with that, I do understand, as much time as I didn't have, as busy as I was working full time in a trade, a lot of people are a lot busier than I was. There's people with kids, with families, and, time is very, very short. And, you really do struggle on time. You're not spending a lot of time on your phone, and I get that. But I guess that's the importance of being here right now. You need that help. You need that help because your schedule is so busy. You need to cut down the process in which you actually start to see the results you're after, so you can start to buy that time back. And that's why it's so important to get a mentor, someone who's made all the mistakes, someone who can cut down the process and give you, a clear vision every day of the exact path to go down, minus all the mistakes. So, you're here now for this call. This plan will begin to get mapped out for you, how the next few months will look like. But that's why it is important to get the help you need, so you can cut out the mistakes. You can, half the time at least, because it's going to be really fucking hard for the people who actually are really short on time to see results for anyone really without that guidance. So that's one of the biggest things that I struggled with. Was I wouldn't even start because I didn't think I had the time. But when I stripped it back and looked at what I was actually doing in my hours outside of work, there was always time. There was always an hour or two here. There's 24 hours in a day. And for people who are busy, that's why you need the help. That's why you guys are here right now, to get that help and that guidance, so you don't mess around and waste what little time you have. You're straight to the point. You know exactly what you need to do every day. You know exactly how to not make mistakes. And when you do make those mistakes, it's not going to cost you more time because they're going to get fixed up straight away. But that's basically probably the biggest thing that held me back for a long time. So if you guys who are serious about your goals, like a lot of you are, who reach out to me, time is an excuse. There is time. There's weekends. Don't go out and drink on the weekends. Don't, do XYZ on the weekends. That you've got more than enough time. You just need to make that and stop doing stuff that isn't going to get you close to your goals. Or else, like the 99% of other people who say, I don't have enough time, that's always going to be the issue, because you have to trade your time in order to be able to survive, have a roof over your head and food on the table. So that was one of the biggest things that held me back. I hope this helped. Yeah, cheers.